In the beginning, when God Most High began to bring forth the heavens and the earth, his first act was the calling forth of light, or the primal radiance by which all creation could be seen, measured, and blessed. God proceeded to shape the universe through successive epochs of creation, each stage unfolding until the world was prepared to sustain life in all its abundance. Yet creation was not deemed complete until its crowning work, humanity, known as Adam, appeared and was formed in the divine image. Male and female he created them, crowning them as sovereign over the universe, a steward of all living things. God clothed Adam with both a radiant body of light and a mortal body of earth, a union that allowed Adam to travel between heaven and earth. And he blessed them, issuing the first command, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it," so that life might continue in covenant with its Creator. Adam was created with surpassing beauty and wisdom, the most radiant and discerning of God's works. His countenance shone with a splendor that reflected the divine, and his understanding reached from one end of the universe to the other. Not only was he the crown of creation, but within Adam's single soul were contained all the souls of humanity that would ever live, for he was the root and source of every generation to come. Adam, in his exalted state, was the fountain of all human souls. From him issued 7 primordial generations, radiant beings known as the Bene Elohim, the sons of God. These are the very ones hinted at in Genesis 6, who desired to descend and dwell upon the earth in bodily form, just as Adam himself is called Son of God, Ben Elohim. Luke 3:38. So too were these emanations called sons of God, for they emerged from Adam's soul before the division into separate male and female individuals, before the fashioning of Adam and Eve in their earthly state. Adam was created in the image of God. Just as an image of a king is set within his palace or temple, so too did the Creator establish the Garden of Eden as his first sanctuary, and there he placed Adam as his living image. From this garden temple, Adam could ascend and descend, moving between heaven and earth, clothed with a radiant body of light in the supernal realms, and with a body of dust upon the earth below. As the sovereign steward of creation, Adam ruled over the universe and gave names to all creatures, discerning their essence and calling them by their true names. For his wisdom encompassed the secret of each living being. And God, Yahweh, formed out of the earth all the wild beasts and all the birds of the sky, and brought them to the Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever the Adam called each living creature, that would be its name. Genesis 2:19. And from the ground God caused to grow every tree that was pleasing to the sight and good for food, with the tree of life, which was an almond tree, in the middle of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and bad, which was a fig tree. And God commanded the human, saying,
"Of every tree of the garden you are free to eat. But as for the tree of knowledge of good and bad, you must not eat of it. For as soon as you eat of it, you shall die."
At this point in the story, it is fitting to ask, where on earth was the Garden of Eden? According to ancient traditions, its center was none other than Jerusalem itself. In the very heart of the garden stood the tree of life, and its earthly counterpart was set upon the Temple Mount. The menorah in the sanctuary, placed before the Holy of Holies, became the living symbol of that tree of life, radiating divine wisdom and light. And across from it to the east, upon the Mount of Olives, tradition places the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. 2 trees facing one another, mirroring the eternal tension between blessing and curse, wisdom and temptation, life and death. Here is Adam, as described by the prophet Ezekiel. Adam is portrayed as a priest-king, adorned as the high priest in the garden temple. You were wiser than Daniel. In no secret could anything be hidden from you. Thus declares the sovereign God, you were the seal of perfection, filled with wisdom and flawless in beauty. I placed you in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was your adornment, carnelian, chrysolite, and amethyst, beryl, lapis lazuli, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and emerald, and gold beautifully wrought, prepared for you on the day you were created. I created you as a cherub with outstretched, shielding wings. You resided upon my holy mountain. You walked in the midst of the divine council, seated at my right hand. You were blameless in all your ways from the day of your creation. Despite Adam's perfection, beauty, and wisdom, God observed one thing about Adam. He was alone. God said,
"It is not good for the Adam to be alone. I will make a fitting counterpart for him."
And the Adam gave names to all the cattle, and to the birds of the sky, and to all the wild beasts, but no fitting counterpart for a human being was found. So God cast a deep sleep upon the Adam, and while he slept, he cleaved the Adam in two, separating the Adam's male and female sides into two individuals. Then the Adam said,
"This will be my partner, for she is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This person I shall name woman, for from me she was taken."
Hence a man leaves his father and mother and marries his wife, so that they become one body again. Adam and the woman were declared the shrewdest of all the animals created in God's new world. After the marriage of Adam and Eve, the Holy One, blessed be He, proclaimed them rulers over the universe. As king and queen, they were crowned with dominion over the earth, the animals, and even over the other sons of God who had sprung forth from the primordial generations. But within Adam something entirely new was stirred. For when the Creator divided the one soul into two, a mystery unfolded. In the perfection of his first form, when male and female were united as one, Adam lacked nothing, for the whole contained its own completion. But once cleaved, Adam beheld Eve as the other side of himself. From this rift was born a power unknown until then, desire, teshukah. The Zohar teaches that love and longing are sparks that arise only through separation. What is whole has no yearning, but what is divided aches to be reunited. Thus Adam's soul began to hunger for Eve, not as a stranger, but as the missing portion of his very essence. This is why Scripture later declares, "Therefore a man leaves his father and mother and clings to his wife, and they become one flesh." Genesis 2:24. It is not mere companionship, but a cosmic restoration, the attempt to heal the primal fracture and return to the wholeness of the first human. In this way, desire was not a flaw, but a divine gift. Through it, the drama of love, union, and creation could unfold. Adam and Eve were not only rulers of the cosmos, they became the archetype of all souls, seeking reunion, healing, and the return to the One. One day Eve saw Adam, standing very still and staring at a tree. She saw desire in his eyes.